Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so the next program in chapter 4 is largest and smallest. Okay, so write a program with a loop that lets the user enter a series of integers. The user should enter -99 to signal the end of the series. After all the numbers have been entered, the program should display the largest and smallest numbers entered. Okay, so we are going to continuously let's see, it should, yeah, okay, so the program is going to continuously ask a user to enter a series of integers, right? But the way the user is going to let the program stop, or the way the user is going to tell the program that, oh, I'm done entering the integers, is when the user enters -99. So if they start typing the numbers or start inserting the numbers and they're done, they type in -99 to terminate it. So once they terminate the program, once they end the program should figure out which one is the smallest number, which one is the largest number, and display it. Yes. Okay. So let's start. I'm going to go ahead and create the class. So public class. I'll call it largest and smallest. And I'll create the main method. Okay, so because we're going to be accepting input, I'm going to use one of Java's ways of accepting input, which is I'm going to use a scanner for this one. I can use the G-option pane, but I'm just choosing to use a scanner for this one because I think in the last program I used the G-option pane, so I'm mixing it around. So in order to use the scanner, we need to first import it so that this program can have access to the scanner class. So to import it, you just type import java.util.scanner, and then now the program has access to it. Okay, so sorry about that. In order to use a scanner, we need to create a scanner object. So I'll do that, and I'll call the scanner object scanner. I'll create a new scanner object in memory, and I'll pass in the system.in method, which means accept byte info from the keyboard and connect it to the scanner object here. Later on, we can use the methods in the scanner class to convert it to whatever we want. Okay. Okay, so now we have the scanner. So we can go ahead and use it. Okay, so let me just close the space here. Okay. Okay, so now we have this, so we can go ahead and use it. All right. So let's see. Write a program with a loop that lets the user enter a series of integers. Okay, so let's start by asking the user to enter, to start entering numbers. Right. First, let's take that number. Okay, let's take at least one number. Okay, and let's start with that. All right. So I'm going to create a system.out.print statement. And say, let's see. Let's say, please enter your first number. Okay, so I'm going to type, please enter your first number. Or what's your first number? Okay, it's fine. Please enter your first number is fine. So once we type that, I'm sorry, I have a little cough. So sorry about that. Please bear with me. Okay, so once we ask the user, please enter your first number, we are going to use a scanner to accept that number. So I'm going to type scanner.nextInt. Now for this program, we're accepting integers, so it's only a series of integers. So I'm going to use the scanner.nextInt method. And what the scanner.nextInt method is going to do is it's going to pop up a text box and allow the user to enter a number, and that number is going to or enter something. So whatever that user types is going to be converted to an integer, and once it does that, we need a place to store it. So I'm going to come up here and declare a variable, and I'm going to call that variable, it's going to be an integer because the user is typing in an integer. I'm going to call that variable user integer. Okay, user integer. Sorry about that. Okay, so user integer is going to now store what the user types. The input or what the user types. It's going to be converted to an integer and then stored in user integer. So now we have a number. We at least have the first number from the user. Okay, I thought of closing this, but let me space this out just so it's not too confusing. So variables here. Okay, so user integers is now going to be equal to scanner.next int, which is going to now store the first number at least. Okay, so remember the user has to first when the loop I'm going to use a loop now to keep asking the user to enter a number. But when the user, as soon as the user types in -99 in user integer, the program should stop. So I'm going to use a while loop. Okay, I'm going to create a while loop, and I'm going to say, oops, what did I do? A while loop, and I'm going to, this is first creating the structure. I'm going to say while the user integer. Okay, so before that, let's go ahead and store this -99 in a variable. I'm going to call it a sentinel because that's what it's called. Sentinel is a number that signals to the program that signals to the program to terminate, let's say, a loop or break out of something. So that's what a sentinel is. So now when the user types in -99, that's when the program is going to terminate. So that's going to be our sentinel, which is -99. So I'm going to come up here. It's an integer, so I'm going to declare it as an integer int, and sentinel is going to be equal to -99. Okay. And once the user types in something, I'm going to check to see if it's not equal to the sentinel. So if user integer is not equal to sentinel, okay. So while the user integer is not the sentinel, so this exclamation mark negates the equal sign. So it's like not equal to. Okay, so it's not equal to, like not equal to. Okay, all right. While the user integer is not the sentinel, whilst what the user typed is not -99. So basically that's what this is saying. While whatever the user typed is not equal to -99. Let's do stuff in here. Now the program wants us to figure out what number is the smallest and what number is the largest, right? So I'm going to create variables for that too, to hold the smallest and the largest numbers. So they're going to be integers. So first is going to be int smallest and int largest. Okay, so while what the user type is not equal to -99, I want to create an if statement, and in here, so we can compare. Let me go ahead and create the structure. We can compare the number with the smallest number to see if it's less than the smallest number, and if it's less than the smallest number, we can. Okay, so we're going to use an if statement to compare what the user type, which is user integer. So first we're going to compare user integer with the smallest number, okay, and see if the user integer is less than the smallest number. If the user integer is less than the smallest number, then the user integer now becomes the smallest number. So we store the user integer in the smallest number. If that's not the case, if the user integer is not less than the smallest number, then we are going to now compare the user integer with the largest number and see if user integer is bigger than the largest number. If user integer is bigger than the largest number, then now we store user integer in the largest number variable. Okay, so but the thing is, smallest and largest, these variables, okay, so let me change it to smallest number. Makes sense that way. Number like this. Okay. Smallest number, largest number. Okay, so before we compare with the smallest and the largest number, they need to have a value. because now smallest number is nothing, largest number is nothing. So if you try to say, or if you try to compare user integer with smallest number, user integer will contain what the user types, but smallest and largest number wouldn't have anything in there. So the interpreter will complain that, hey, I don't even know what's in smallest number, so what should I compare with? So just so that we have a value in these variables, let's go ahead and set the smallest and largest number, both of them, to what the user types initially. Okay, that's just going to happen one time when the program runs, because after this statement runs, the loop is going to continue, and after the loop is done, the program is going to continue down. So everything else on top of the loop, okay, above the loop over here, is going to run one time. So let's first do that, and we'll understand why. I mean, I basically explained it for the most part, just so they have a number in there, so we can compare what the user typed with. So smallest number now is going to be equal to user integer, because the user has typed in something here. And the same thing for largest number. Largest number is now going to be equal to user integer. So if the user types in, let's say 2, smallest number is going to hold 2 integer, and then largest number is going to hold 2. Both of them are going to hold 2. So now we come down here and compare. So while the user integer is not equal to -99, remember when the user integer is equal to the sentinel, then that means that this while loop is not even going to run. It's going to exit out of the loop. Okay, so if now, assuming the user types 2, okay, now smallest number is 2, largest number is 2, user integer is also 2. So we come and say, is 2 not equal to the sentinel? Okay, 2 is not equal to the sentinel, so this is true. So that means that the loop is going to run now. Okay, while 2 is not equal to the sentinel, then do this. So 2 is not equal to the sentinel, so we're going to do what's in the while loop. So in the while loop, we're going to say this. We're going to say if, okay, because now we have values in the smallest and largest numbers. So we're going to say if what the user has typed, user integer, okay, in this case is 2, right? So if 2, I'm assuming the user typed in 2 for the first time. So if 2 is less than what's already stored in smallest, okay, then go ahead, change the smallest, the smallest number. We set the variable to smallest number. Okay, so if user integer or 2 is, I'm assuming it's 2 because the user typed in 2 for the first time. If 2 is less than the smallest number, then now change the smallest number to be equal to the user integer, which is 2. So the first time the program runs, remember all of them are going to hold 2. Let's assume the user typed in 2. So 2. So if 2 is less than 2, then smallest number is going to be equal to 2. But 2 is not less than 2, so smallest number is still going to remain 2. Okay, that's the first time running. Okay, so if the user integer is not less than the smallest number, now let's go and check. Let's go. If it's not less than the smallest number, that means it's either equal to, it's either equal to or greater than the smallest number. Or greater than the smallest number. So let's go ahead and compare with the largest number, because, for example, we can't just go ahead and say if user integer is less than smallest number, set smallest number to user integer, else set the largest number to user integer. It wouldn't make sense, because the fact that what the user typed is not less than 2, okay, does not necessarily mean that it's going to be the bigger or the biggest number in the entire series of numbers the user types, because the user can type in, let's say, 2 as the first number, right, and the user can type in 4 as a second number. Now, in this example I'm giving right now, 2 is going to be the smallest and 4 is going to be the largest, right? If the user types in 3, now 3 is going to compare 3 with 2 and see if 3 is less than 2. Now 3 is not less than 2, so that means 3 can't be the less number. We can't just assume that 3 is the bigger number now, because now the largest number already is 4, according to the example I'm giving. So we have to compare that 3 with the 4 to see if 3 is bigger than 4, in order to now set 3 as a bigger number. But in this case, 3 is not 3 is not bigger than 4, so 3 can't be the biggest number. So 4 will continue to remain the biggest number. I hope you understand the example I gave. So over here, we have to also go ahead and compare the user integer with the largest number, which again is 2 for the first time, assuming the user typed in 2. So else if the user integer is greater than the largest number, then I'll go ahead and set the largest number to be equal to the user integer. Okay, so let's walk through this and see what happens. Okay, so assuming the user types in 2 the first time, smallest number becomes 2, largest number becomes 2. So basically, smallest number is 2, largest number is 2, user integer is 2. So while 2 is not equal to negative 99, okay, 2 is not equal to negative 99. So let's do what's in the loop here so far. If user integer, which is 2, if 2 is less than smallest number. Now, smallest number is 2, 2. So if 2 is less than 2, 2 is not less than 2. So smallest number won't change. So smallest number is still going to remain 2. Else if user integer is 2. If 2 is greater than the largest number is also 2. Largest number. Okay, it's the very largest number here. I should have named it correctly. So else if the user integer, which is 2, is greater than the largest number is 2. 2 is not greater than 2. So largest number is not going to change. Okay, it's still going to remain 2. Now let's go again. Assuming now, remember the loop is not going to, the program is not going to start from here again. It's going to come back up again. So once we are done, before I actually go through it, let's go ahead and finish what's in the loop, because it would make sense more if I finish what's in the loop. Now, after it's compared to find the smallest and largest number, before it goes back up to check the user integer, let's go ahead and ask the user again if they have any number. If they don't have any number, let's tell them to enter negative 99 to exit the program. Because over here, if the user integer is equal to the negative 99, the program is going to terminate. So I'm going to copy this whole string here and ask them again here. So after it's found the smallest and largest number, let's go ahead and ask again. This time, let's say, do you have another number? Okay, let's say, do you have another number? Okay, or let's just say, type in your next number, or type negative 99 to quit, or to type negative 99 to process your numbers, basically to process your numbers, and I'm going to create a new line character. So \n is a new line character. It's going to basically, anything that comes after it is going to be displayed on the next line. So let's just do this here. Type in your next number, or let's do this, or I'll type, it's fine. I'll type negative 99 to process your numbers, and let's just, I'll type in negative 99 to find the smallest. I'll just keep it simple. I'll type negative 99 to end the program. End the program doesn't sound good. To end, that's it, to end. Type in your next number, or type negative 99 to end. Okay, so no new line character. All right. Okay, so after that, we'll go through this whole thing, and then we'll see how it makes sense. But once it does, once it calculates the smallest or it finds the smallest and largest number. I'm really sorry for the cough. Okay, I apologize. Please bear with me here. Sorry. Okay, so once you type in, so we have to ask the user again to enter the next number, which is user integer. Okay, so we're going to accept the user integer here and go back to the loop header and check to see if the next number that the user typed is not equal to the sentinel. If it's not equal to the sentinel, continue finding the smallest number. The smallest number and largest number, and ask the user again for the next number, if any, or to type -99 to terminate. If they type in -99, it's going to terminate the program. So let's go ahead and give an example. Let's go ahead and see how this program will run, basically. So, like I said, using the previous example, if all of these were 2, if the user entered, let's say 2 for user integer, smallest number is now going to be user integer, which is 2. Largest number is going to be equal to 2. So while 2 is not equal to -99, the sentinel, now 2 is not equal to -99. So what in the loop will run? Okay, in the loop it says if the user integer, which is 2, if 2 is not less than, if 2 is less than smallest number. So smallest number is 2, user integer is 2. If 2 is not, if I keep on saying not. If 2 is less than 2, now 2 is not less than 2, so that means smallest number won't change. Smallest number will remain 2. Now let's go ahead and compare with the largest number. If what the user typed is not smaller than the smaller number, it's not less than the smaller number. So if it's not less than the smaller number, then let's compare with the largest number. Now the largest number is 2, because we set it to what the user typed. So let's go ahead and compare that and see if the user integer is greater than the largest number. So in this case, 2 is not greater than 2. So in this, again, largest number won't change. That largest number will still stay the same, which is 2. So the user, this statement is going to ask the user for another number if there is any indeed. So the user, let's say, types in 5. Okay, so user integer now is going to be 5, and it's going to come back up and check to see if 5 is not equal to the sentinel. Now 5 is not equal to the sentinel. 5 is 5. Okay, 5 is not equal to the sentinel. So that means what's in the loop will run again. So it's going to come and check if already we know that smallest number and largest number. Smallest number is 2, largest number is 2. So now the user has typed in 5 for the second number. So it's going to check 5 is not equal to the sentinel. Okay, so 5 is not equal to the sentinel. So what's in the while loop will run. So it's going to come here and check if 5 is less than smallest number. Now smallest number code holds 2. Okay, so if it's 5 less than 2, 5 is not less than 2. So that means smallest number won't change. Okay, smallest number won't be equal to the user integer. Smallest number will still remain as 2. Now we have to go ahead and check with the largest number as well. So else if 5, which is the user integer, is greater than the largest number. Now largest number holds 2. Now it's true, 5 is greater than the largest number, which is 2. So in that case, then set the largest number to the user integer, which is 5. Okay, so set the largest number to the user integer, which is 5. So after this is done, user integer will hold 2, largest number will hold 5. Assuming the user typed in 3. So 3, it's going to come back. It's of course 3 is not equal to the sentinel, so it's going to check to see if 3 is less than the smallest number, which is 2. 3 is not less than 2, so that means smallest number will still remain 2. So now we have to go ahead and compare with the largest number. Now as it stands, smallest number holds 2, largest number holds 5. The third number is 3. So we compared 3 with 2 to see if 3 is less than 2. 3 is not less than 2, so the smallest number will still hold 2. Now we have to compare with the largest number, because we can't assume that because 3 is not less than 2, 3 is the largest number. Already we know the largest number holds 5. If we assume that 3 is the largest number, then we'll be wrong. So we have to go ahead and compare with the largest number to see if really 3 is the largest number. So if 3 is not less than 2, then we have to check with the largest number and see if compare with the largest number as well. So we go ahead and say, is 3 greater than the largest number? Now largest number holds 5. Is 3 greater than 5? 3 is not greater than 5. So that means largest number will still hold 5. So basically, this process is basically finding the smallest and largest number. And it's going to ask the user again, do you have another number? If the user has another number, it's going to get to the number here, repeat the process. Or else, if the user types in, let's say, negative 99, now user integer is going to be negative 99. When the loop comes up back to the loop header, user integer is going to hold negative 99. Now this header says while the user integer is not less than negative 99. Okay, as long as the user integer is not less than negative 99, do what's in the loop. But in this case, if the user enters negative 99, this will read negative 99. Okay, while negative 99 is not equal to negative 99. Okay, but in this case, negative 99 is equal to negative 99. Okay, while the user integer is not equal to negative 99, but in this case, the user integer is equal to negative 99. So this loop won't run. Okay, this loop will run only if the user integer is not equal to the sentinel. In this case, the user integer is equal to the sentinel. Is equal to negative 99. So what's in here won't even run at all. It will just exit out of the loop and do what comes after the loop here. Okay, so once we are done, we will have the smallest number in the variable, we'll have the largest number in the variable. So we can go ahead and display it. So let's just type in a system.out.print statement, println statement, and say this. Let's say among all your numbers. Let's see. Yeah, among all your numbers, right? I'm going to concatenate this string to the variable's smallest number. Among all your numbers, smallest number, I'm going to concatenate it to a string and say is the smallest number. I'm going to break this to the new line. Continue. Among all your numbers, smallest number is the smallest number. Okay. And now over here, I'm just concatenating the string with the next string. I'm just breaking it in a new line, so I need to put the plus here, so that the next line is basically concatenated to this string. So is the smallest number, and so I'm going to concatenate this with the variable largest number is the largest number, like this. So among all your numbers, what's stored in the smallest number? Okay, is the smallest number, and what's stored in the largest number is the largest number. So let's try this. Let's go ahead and try this. We're done. I'm going to go ahead and compile this, create a new folder. I'm going to call this, what was this called? It was called largest and smallest. Okay. So largest and smallest. And I'll save it here. Okay, so compiled with no errors, so that's good. So let's run the program and see what happens. So please enter your first number. So I'm going to enter, let's first enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we know 1 is going to be the smallest and 5 is going to be the largest. But I don't want to enter it in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to enter 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. So I'm going to enter 3. Okay, so please type your next number, or type negative 99 to end. 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. Now to end this program, I need to type in negative 99, and then the program is going to tell me which is the smallest and which is the largest. So negative 99. Hit enter, and it says among all your numbers, 1 is the smallest number and 5 is the largest number. So it works. Basically, we are done with the program. But I wanted to add one thing. You see, there's no way to actually see the numbers apart from this. Okay, so if you just had a program that displayed the outputs, although it's giving you the correct data, it would be nice to actually see the numbers somehow. Now we can see this as we are typing, but assuming we have a program that just that doesn't give us a history of this, you just ask for the input. We type it in there, and it just gives us the output. And it would be nice to actually see what we are typing. So we can based on what we've learned so far in the book, we can emulate that. We can do that. We can create that actually, not emulate. We can use what we learned so far in the book and display the list of items as we are typing it, or by the time we finish typing it, we'll have the list of numbers displayed to us so that we know exactly what numbers we typed. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and again, this is just to make the program look extra nice, or just nice, or yeah. But basically, this is done. This is done based according to the question. We've done it. But I'm just adding this last thing just to make the program look nice. So I'm going to create a string, and that string is going to hold the numbers. It's going to basically hold the numbers. So I'm going to call this numbers output. Okay, numbers output. And initially, numbers output is nothing. It's a string that contains nothing. So we are going to concatenate to this string to form the list of numbers. So over here, once the user has typed in the first number, let's go ahead and concatenate that number to the string. So I'm going to say numbers output. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm concatenating to a string. So I'm going to use a plus sign. So I'm going to say numbers output is going to be equal to what is already stored in numbers output, which is nothing, concatenated with the user integer, like this. Now, this statement can also be written as numbers output plus equals numbers output plus equals user integer. So I'm basically concatenating to numbers output user integer. So this means that what I'm concatenating, okay, to numbers output is user integer. Okay, so what I'm concatenating here, the plus sign, to numbers output is the user integer. All right, so because it's a string, we are concatenating if we use a plus sign. So basically, each time the user types in something, we are just concatenating that number to numbers output. And the user is going to type in the second number here. It's going to come back up and check to see if that number is not equal to Sentinel. And it's going to concatenate that second number to numbers output and keep on going. So by the time we're done, we'll have the output the full string of numbers stored in numbers output. And then we can display it after. We can even display it now and say this. As the user is typing, they will see exactly what they've typed. So we can say system.out.print prints this. So prints this. I can say this. I can say your numbers. I can say your list of numbers or something. Your list, or let's say I don't know. Let me just think of something. I can type anything. I'm just trying to make it nice. So let's see. You've entered. I don't know. Or you entered. Or let me just say your numbers. That's it. Your numbers. And I'm going to concatenate it to the. Oops. All right. So hold on. This step is going to be done above it. It's going to concatenate the number to the numbers output string. Okay, and now I just want to display a numbers output. System.out.print numbers output. I just want to display what's in the string so far. So once you add a number to it, display what's in the string so far. Okay. Once you add a number to it, display what's in the string so far. Anytime the loop goes, it's basically displaying what has been added to the list, what has been joined to the list. Okay, so your numbers, and then it's going to be this. But let me format it a little bit, make it look nice. I'm going to put parentheses around it, and I want it to be spaced out nicely, like the way I space out. I put a space on each end of the double quotation in parentheses. So I'll put a space before the number, and when it ends, I want to also put a space after the last number. So anytime you print a number, put a space after the end. So I'm going to concatenate another space. Okay, this is space at the end. Anytime you add a number to numbers outputs, end that number with a space, basically. All right, so let's see how it will look. And let's see. I want to close this parentheses. I mean, when it displays, I've started the parentheses. So I want to also end it with a parentheses. So I'm going to concatenate it with the closing parentheses and another. I mean, I don't need another space because the number will end with a space here. So there'll be a space after the number. So that should be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and compile this and see how it looks so far. So run, and I'm going to type in 1 and hit enter. And it says, you see, it says your numbers 1 so far. All right, so I need to break this so that this displays on the next line. Or I can even put it before that. So let me see. Okay, so that's what I'm asking this here. Before I ask this, I use system.out.print, that's why. So I'm going to use system.out.print line. That means it's going to print the statement and end it with a new line character, which is going to break whatever that comes after this, okay, to the next line, basically. I use system.out.print, and system.out.print only prints the line without breaking whatever comes after the line on a new line. I apologize for the coughing. So I'll go ahead and compile it and enter 1, and now it says your numbers. You see over here, 1, and I'm going to enter 7. You see your numbers 1 1 7. So we are seeing our numbers as we are typing. And it says type in your next number or type in -99 to end. So let's just type in some random numbers, and we are seeing our numbers as we are typing. So we know that once we enter -99 to end this program, we know our lowest number is 1 and our largest number is 568. So let's hit -99 and hit enter. Sorry, our lowest number is 0, not 1. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. 0. Okay, so among all your numbers, 0 is the smallest number and 568 is the largest number. We can try something else here. Let's try just random numbers. Okay, so now we're seeing all the numbers in the list here. I mean, in a form of a list. It's basically a string that's being displayed. So I'm going to type in -99 to end or to terminate the program. So hit enter, and it says that among all your numbers, 3 is the smallest number and 5 6 7 8 is the largest number. So let's see, 3 is the smallest number, and that's true, and 5 6 7 8 is the largest number. Okay, so this program works. And I just had to add this because I just wanted it to look nice. So yeah, it makes the program look even nicer. Okay, so we're done. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll do everything to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time with the next program. Bye bye.